okay, is far beyond our expectation.
It's the safest way of owning a house.
My mouth is full of appreciation to Federal Mortgage Bank.
Last week, the International Customer Service Week was celebrated worldwide. For a service-providing institution like the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, it was not only a celebration, but also an avenue for feedback from its customers to learn areas that can be improved upon in meeting the objectives of the National Housing Fund scheme. How the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria marked the week will be our focus in this week's episode of the program. Good evening, and thanks for joining us. The program is Everyone Deserves a Home.
These houses are expensive. How can he afford to buy a house in this place?
Bami.
How did you get money to acquire all this?
Bami, sit down. I got this house through the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria rent-to-own loan. The loan allows me to keep paying my rent until the amount I've paid sums up to the cost of the house. Then I stop paying rent and I become the house owner.
You mean to tell me that kind of thing exists here?
Everyone you see in this estate is a beneficiary.
Then give me some wine and let me drink in my son's house. At the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, everyone deserves a home.
Welcome back. We opened the program with news about the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and the housing sector. In the lineup, FMBN explores the capital market to raise funds. This and other stories coming shortly. Stay with us.
In terms of our financing,
Executive Director, Loans and Mortgage Services, Lukman Mustafa, has said that the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is exploring ways of sourcing long-term funds for the bank in order to diversify its income. Mustafa stated this during an in-house training on Sukuk and ways out for FMBN abandoned projects where he represented the Managing Director, Modahamman. It was organized by 117 Capital, a fund management firm. The Executive Director noted that the bank is willing and open to work with the capital market to generate funds.
in as much as we are looking at ways by which we can diversify the base of the National Housing Fund, we feel the need to explore other markets, other opportunities where we can be able to raise long-term funds. And as such, the Sukuk window, as well as the conventional bonds window, comes readily to the front burner.
Managing Director, 117 Capital, Atahiru Machido, who made a presentation, highlighted ways the firm hopes to raise capital for the FMBN.
We have some contracts that we are proposing to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria in order to use either of these particular contracts in order to salvage the situation where we are. With respect to these particular issues we have, I've decided to categorize the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria into two. The National Housing Fund, where all these particular abundant projects are financed, which means the asset belongs to the National Housing Funds, as well as the capital market, since we already have representative of the capital market and treasury here.
Executive Director, Business Development and Portfolio Management, Kingsley Chukuma, noted that the management will take time to study the proposal. He, however, raised concerns on some grey areas.
The question should be based on the remedial aspect of our project. Like you made mention of acquiring the abandoned properties, which is already there for a while, and you intend to turn it around, buy them off from us, and then, because I know there are properties we have as at now that has lots of issues with them, cases and all that, and acquiring that, I don't know what's the take on getting it resolved in a way that we could be able to recoup our money along the line.
Other management staff present also raised concerns and suggested areas to be addressed in order to make the proposal a success.
Some of the products they make that the MD mentioned, I think we will find them useful with regards to financial inclusion policy of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
The meeting ended with the appointment of a 5-man technical committee to look into the proposal. Members include group heads of risk management, remedial management, treasury service loans and mortgages, as well as project finance. The International Real Estate Federation Nigeria chapter has called on the federal government to implement its various housing development programs, which will reduce the shortage in affordable housing as well as provide shelter for Nigerians. President of the Federation, Mr. Gladstone Opara, who spoke during an event to mark the World Habitat Day, said Nigeria had made laws and proposed several housing programs such as the National Housing Policy (NHP) and Family Homes Fund (FHF) since independence that would have helped to give relief if they were judiciously implemented. He, however, noted that these programs have unfortunately not lived to expectation. Opara then advised the government to revive these programs because, according to him, the inaction may make the already bad situation irredeemable in future. Also adding that government and property developers should consider provision for shelter for all as a social responsibility and not for economic gain alone. Mr. Opara also noted the need for government to ensure easily affordable mortgages for property development or arrange the construction of low-cost houses, while ease of doing business should be encouraged by removing all bureaucratic bottlenecks in land acquisitions and registration and procurement of credit facilities for real estate developments.
The first week of October each year marks the International Customer Service Week. The Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria commemorated the week, especially with a series of events and activities to celebrate her customers. Details of the celebration is the focus of our Building Blocks segment. Keep watching.
Last week, from the 3rd to the 7th of October 2022, was the International Customer Service Week. This global event is not only observed to celebrate customers, but to also celebrate the effort and work of service providers and to encourage them in providing effective and good services to customers. Being a service providing institution, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria celebrated the week-long event in honor of its esteemed customers and its staff who provide services to these customers. The event kicked off with a football match between the head office of the bank and the FCT branch offices.
The game that we've just witnessed was quite an interesting game. It's the fact that a team won does not mean the other team lost.
Tuesday, the 4th of October, was the proper commencement of the celebration. Managing Director of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, in addressing the staff of the bank, said that the bank celebrates the week to ensure that its customers are kept satisfied with its services.
What I want us to take away is that this should not only be within this week, it should be an all-year event for all of us. We see our customers on a daily basis as an institution. Customers walk in here and our various branches spread across the country every day. So it's not only the first week in October that we are going to celebrate Customer Service Week, but we are going to celebrate that all year round, and we should ensure that what we are able to imbibe in this week remains with us year round.
He said the celebration is not only about its customers, but about its staff who provide services to the customers. Hammond encouraged staff of the bank to operate as a team and promised to provide the right working environment for the staff so that they can operate optimally.
As people who provide customer service, we also need to work in our individual units, in our individual groups, in our individual offices. We need to work as teams. We should not operate in silos. We should give our customers an overall satisfaction that Federal Mortgage Bank is a team. And no matter the location you go to, whether it's mortgage services or NHF or branch, any of the branches or zonal offices, you will get the best customer satisfaction from dealing with the staff of Federal Mortgage Bank.
Customer Service Week, it means that we should hear more.
Second day of the event was an interactive session between the executive directors of the bank and some of its customers, which included both developers and off-takers. The essence of this session was to hear directly from its customers what needs to be done better in its service delivery.
We want to hear from you. We want to see a lot of changes ahead. And not only that, it has to be implemented. We need to enforce a lot of things.
I am particularly concerned about our turnaround time. What does it take to get a mortgage loan from us? Where are the pain points? What are those things that we need to do and do better? And what do we need to do to improve the way we operate, the way we process, and the way we deliver on our services to you?
I am encouraged, even with the MD, I've met with him, that you people are doing very well. Congratulations. Because you just took over. I've been in the bank, I've been doing business with the bank. It's getting to 12 years now. And I just want to let you know that the transition from the old board to this new board is just seamless.
And I've seen over a period of time how Federal Mortgage Bank has really helped us to achieve the dream of owning a home for our customers, especially through NHF. And they also give us some other platform to access this mortgage.
The session was an idea-sharing one, as ways were suggested on how to improve on service delivery.
The turnaround time is one thing that, the new management is trying to focus on, and that is practically our own major concerns too, especially in exiting our loans. Once we are able to build the houses, we have the off-takers, one will wonder, while exiting the loans, will take time.
One other thing again the bank can do is in the area of metrics. There is a need for you to get more information from your subscribers or off-takers, because within a very short period of time you discover that things will change. Sometimes you look at the offices where these people work, they might change their offices and stuff like that. So there's a need for better biometrics.
I want to say much more of advertisement in this level, the locator, especially the new people, the new entrants into the service, because you catch them young, they will be able to do much better before they retire.
Staff of the bank shared in joy of the celebration, urging customers to give the bank the benefits of doubt. Some of them highlighted ways customers can enjoy better services.
For us in FMBN, we take service seriously. I will make sure that all our customers actually benefit from what we have. And our mandate here is to deliver affordable mortgages to the customers.
Our theme for this year's customer service is Celebrate Service. So we are wishing our customers all the best, still reassuring them that during this customer service week, all for them is what we are here for. And that is making the customer the king in all that we do.
To round up the event, Executive Director, Finance and Corporate Services Hajia Zubaida Umar appreciated the customers of the bank. The celebration, she said, has reminded the bank of its responsibility of providing premium services to its customers.
On behalf of the Federal Mortgage Bank Board of Directors, management and staff, I want to sincerely appreciate all our esteemed customers for making our 2022 Customer Service Week a memorable and eventful one. Your presence added a lot of color and meaning to the week and reminded us of our obligation to make the provision of top-notch service to you, our customers, front and center of our activities. Once again, thank you very much and God bless.
To improve transparency and accountability in managing the NHF funds, Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria has introduced Star 219 hash. Star 219 hash is a new way to know the status of your NHF contribution from anywhere. To use this service, dial Star 219 hash. Select 1 to update your contact detail. Press 2 to check your contribution status in any month up to the last 5 years. You can also use our mortgage calculator and bulletin board by selecting options 5 and 6 respectively. You can access other services by using direct shortcodes like Star 219 Star 3 hash to retrieve your NHF number, Star 219 Star 4 Star 1 hash to check your last 5 transactions, and Star 219 Star 4 Star 2 hash to check your statement of account. No internet connection required, and it is available on all networks. Star 219 hash. Simpler, smarter, faster. Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. Everyone deserves a home.
If you're just joining us, you're watching Everyone Deserves a Home, showcasing the efforts of the Federal Mortgage Bank in providing affordable housing for Nigerians. When Mr. and Mrs. Olajide Sunday decided to give the NHF scheme a trial, they were skeptical about its success. Today, the story is entirely different as they now live in their own home. Let's hear how they became homeowners.
I can assure all Nigerians that if you apply, once it is available, you will get.
Definitely the scheme is real.
It's a big testimony to stop paying rent.
Excellent. Seriously excellent.
It works and is real.
Mr. Olajide Sunday and his family live in this beautiful 3-bedroom bungalow in Woodhill Estate, Kuje, Abuja. He got to know about the scheme from his place of work. Because of previous experiences he has had with other housing schemes, he did not want to give it much thought until he met the developer of the estate who encouraged him to apply for the house.
When we heard that Federal Mortgage Bank can give us, because we don't believe it initially, we don't think that it will work. So we are, fortunately for us, we approached a developer by name Perfect Estate Developer. I seek his opinion. In fact, I'm one of the frontier of bringing people into this estate. So I seek his opinion. I told him what we have been doing before, and it has not been working. He said with Federal Mortgage Bank it will work.
When he told his wife about the scheme, she tried to discourage him. Today, they are happy homeowners living in their own home. Mrs. Sunday tells us how it feels.
Initially, when my husband came in and he told me that this is what they had about the federal mortgage, I want to convince him that he should not go ahead because of many disappointing that we have had in the time past. But I just have another thought that why can't I give it a try? Then I have to call him to go ahead. But this time around that he put here is another story entirely, which is positive story. So when he came back and he explained everything to me, I was so happy.
Since they got the house, they have not failed to spread the awareness of the National Housing Fund. The call has remained to give the scheme a trial.
This thing is working because I'm one of the beneficiaries. It's working, and I'm advised to people is that they should key into the federal mortgage process. It will work, and it's working because it has worked for me. It has worked for many people that I know. I've brought many people here that they don't even think that it will work.
For Mr. Sunday, the quality of work done on the house is very commendable.
I want to give kudos to this developer, and I want to, if I can appeal on his behalf, Federal Mortgage Bank should focus on these genuine developers like Perfect Estate developer. I see this man, this company, as one of the genuine developer in Nigeria. This man delivered to us as promised.
They got the house at the cost of 9.5 million naira only. Mr. Olajide says the repayment arrangement may not be totally convenient, but it is worth it.
They have started my deduction, though it's not too easy. But we are the one that applied for it, and we got it, and we must follow it the way it is.
He calls on the Federal Mortgage Bank to do more in the area of awareness so that more people will be aware of the NHF scheme.
Our question for the week is, why should I consider owning a home through mortgage?
When you look at it worldwide and also in Nigeria, the issue of mortgage is tailored around the vast majority of the population, which are working population, most of whom during their working life have earnings and savings. Most of these earnings and savings may not be sufficient for them to buy a property outright for them to live in. So the mortgage option is always there to be able to assist individuals that can be able to access a house and pay for it gradually throughout their working life. So the way the mortgage arrangement in Federal Mortgage Bank is up to 30 years. So once one begins to start a job or starts his career or his business, he is eligible, as long as he's a contributor of the National Housing Fund, he is able to access a mortgage where he would be paying from his salary every month.
This is all we bring you on this episode of the program. I hope you have learned a thing or two. Find out more about us by logging on to www.fmbn.gov.ng or simply stop by at any FMBN branch office in your state. Do well to join us again next week, same time, same station, for another exciting package. Until then, it's bye for now.